Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to my Saints Row 4 Mod Spotlight series, and we're back in Stillport today to test two new mods that I have found this week that I just had a whole lot of fun with. So if we just take a leap over here and find ourselves a car, we will take a look at the first mod, which, what to pick? How about this wonderful bulldog here? So just jump right on in, and we're going to pull it into the rim jobs that's conveniently located right by this bulldog to get started on the hydraulics mod. Now this is great. It's quite simple. It adds hydraulics to the game. So if you go to body mods and go down to hydraulics, you can install for just a mere 50 cash hydraulics onto basically any vehicle you want in the game. So if we pull out this bulldog and have a little fun, now I'm using keyboard and mouse, so if you push B and then say the M key will hop you up and about, and well, I should have clarified, the B key will turn on and off the hydraulics, but while on, you can use M to go up and down, or roll the mouse to sort of, well, roll the hydraulics, as showing here very, very strangely. But it's very fun, and all you got to do is hit B again to turn off the hydraulics, and we can go and find another car. I think this solar here would be another good choice to go with. I'm just wanting to see how the hydraulics look on various cars in the game. Kind of run the gamut from the Hummer type bulldog to this Prius looking little solar here, and jump in, body mods, take a look at the hydraulics, and yes, we can install it for 50 cash. So if we take this baby out now, press B and M to launch ourselves into the air, you actually get a little bit of height on this one. It's actually jumping. The bulldog perhaps was too heavy to actually jump, but this one roll around nicely, and that guy apparently did not like those lights at all. But yes, it's quite fun to hop around with the hydraulics on, and you can even control the hydraulics while moving. Again, as long as you don't hit that B key a second time, the hydraulics will stay on. But why don't we find another vehicle and have a bit more fun? And, well, a school bus is just completely nonsensical to have hydraulics on it, so of course, that's what we've done. It's just strange, but it's Saints Row, so strange is a good thing. Now, this mod right now, most of the cars in the game work with hydraulics, almost all of them. There are a handful of cars, though, that do not work with the hydraulics mod, and you can find a list of those on the download page for the mod, which as always will be in the description. But the vast majority of vehicles work with the mod. That's why I wanted to take a look at a couple, including a school bus. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this mod. So why don't we jump on into our next mod for a little bit of a perspective change. And by that I mean changing ourselves into the first person perspective. This is the very, very recently released first-person alpha for Saints Row. This is just insane. This is Saints Row from a first-person viewpoint, with guns and superpowers in all of its glory. It is very cool. I've been having a lot of fun with this so far, but I must say and stress quite heavily, it is alpha. This is a very buggy mod at the moment. I had a few issues installing it, but overall it is quite good. But to get it to work, you actually have to take off your head. And to do that, you go to a planet Zin. As you can see, my headless steampunk guy there. Go to hats and get this fleur chain, which will take off your head. Because if you don't, your head and whatever hats or glasses you're wearing will clip through the camera while moving around. So you need that floor chain to actually ensure that, well, you're just not getting constant clipping issues. Now, there still are some clipping issues right there, for instance, that, well, you're gonna run into. Again, it is by far an early alpha of this mod. But still, without the head, it works quite nicely, but it is kind of weird staring at your shadow on the ground without a head. And there are also a few issues with some of the weapons. The shotgun is one that's a little bit screwy. They did release a small patch for that earlier. And yeah, as you can see, with both the shotgun and also the assault rifle slot, I found that happened a lot. When you look down with the weapon, the camera pulls away. You can also see some minor clipping in the textures and models of the actual gun. Now that gets a lot more pronounced with something like a rocket launcher, which of course it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, this game was made for the third-person perspective, so putting a camera right next to that thing is not going to work quite right. But still, even with the clipping and slight texture issues, especially on the dubstep gun, it is just very, very fun to be in a first-person perspective. But as far as the guns go, the pistols and the submachine guns work amazingly well with the first-person mod. I mean, I'm just running around right now like I'm in a first-person shooter, and it's just glorious. But of course, you get into a vehicle, you're back out to third-person. I would personally like to see that stay first-person even when you're in the car, but that might come in time. Again, this is very early stage of an alpha for this, so there is still a lot to go. But yes, it's just a lot of fun running around with your superpowers. You can see your hands going there. But it is glitchy with things like, of course, well, I wouldn't say glitchy, but just odd, like when you go for that golden Sid just then, it goes out and you're headless. But jumping around, flying around, and especially running up the sides of buildings is just a whole lot of fun with this mod, and it's actually probably my favorite mod at the moment, because it's amazing what changing to the first person's perspective actually just changes the game. It's quite interesting. But again, very buggy in the early alpha, so if you can deal with bugs, I'd say go for it. But that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Links will be, of course, in the description. But thank you for watching, and as always, my friends, have a good one.